everyone. Today is Wednesday, September 18th. It is 5:36 p.m. We're here at the International High School Community Room. We're going to call this Academics Committee meeting to order. The mission is to educate and nurture a diverse learning community through the International Baccalaureate Program, grow languages and intercultural appreciation to succeed in a global economy. We'll begin by recording attendance. I'm Tanya Linfield.
Sarah Olivier.
Percy Mason.
Aaron Meyer.
Charles McCollum.
David Lewis.
Annie Brown.
James Davis. Johnny Williams.
Cody Moore.
Thank you. And has everyone had a chance to read the latest meeting minutes for the last meeting minutes that we concluded the academic year? Did everyone have a chance to read the minutes? Okay, we're not going to approve them at this time. We'll say that to be the part that we do the minutes. Okay, with everyone. And they are attached to your information for this evening's committee meeting. So next we'll give Dr. Berger the floor.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Super excited to start our first committee meeting. So first set of committee meetings for the school year. We are smack dab in the middle of our first quarter. And so there's been a lot going on. Last time we met during the board retreat, we hadn't yet started school. So there's been a lot going on, and I'll let you hear from my team. Some of the things that I want to highlight is, of course, we had staff changes, and I mentioned the changes during the board retreat, but our academic leadership has changed. We no longer have a separate head of school and principal. We have one CEO head of school, which encompasses principal roles. We have Mr. James Davis, who stepped up from being the assistant principal to now be the dean of academics. And we have Mr. Jeremy Williams, who came on, who is now the dean of culture and operations. So, and they'll give you a little bit of information about their roles when they give their reports. Wanted to highlight our enrollment. We're not exactly where we need to be. We budgeted for 399 kids. We are now at 379 kids. We started with more, but once we went through and had to drop students for not coming to school, we're not down to 379. We're going to do a push on social media to try to get a few more kids through the door, and I'll let you know how that works during our next meeting. This is the time of our renewal. So we are working hard on ensuring that we have everything in place for a successful state visit, which should be in October. I'll give you guys more information on that because the state will need to be part of our October board meeting. So while we're working on preparing ourselves for the renewal, just keep that in mind. Another thing is we are working on finalizing, almost final, this upcoming year's pupil progression plan. It's due to the state for approval. So I'll be bringing it to our next academic committee for reviews and then approval at the following board meeting. And then I wanted to give my team a chance to fill out and start academics.
All right, good evening. August is a very standardized month, actually, at the beginning of the school year. There's always time designated for teachers and students to establish and build relationships with coach in the classroom before jumping into content, and then, of course, jumping into the content itself. But it may take, of course, a week or so for all of that to get it rolling. So we started the school year with our social contract initiatives, which is part of our secret program that we've been implementing over the last few years. That is for the purpose of having students a voice in establishing, hey, this is how we want our classrooms to run, this is how we want our interactions to go, and this is how we want to both treat each other and be treated by other people. It's very, very much the cornerstone of classroom management. And so we give teachers time to do that with their student schedule. And as they're doing that, they're not jumping into curriculum content just yet. They are doing what's essentially prerequisite skills review, basically. So these are the good skills that you should have as you come into this classroom. So let's go ahead and use this opportunity to reinforce those before we jump into actual content. And that started up around the middle of the second week. And so from there, teachers jump in and we have diagnostics. Diagnostics are given through our Performance Matters platform, which is a part of our Power School Language, our learning and our school management system. That is also on the rotating schedule for us to not be too terribly disruptive to teachers starting off with their content disbursement. And so we will have your few days of getting into your curriculum, and then you know that, okay, let's say Monday, first period teachers, third period teachers, they're going to do their diagnostics, so they pause for it, do their diagnostics, and then proceed with regular content after the diagnostics and for the first year. We hit a snag in rolling it out. We learned, not necessarily the hard way, but definitely through trial and error, that there's a process you have to run to make sure that the side of Power School with the diagnostics has communicated in sync with the side of Power School that manages the schedules. So these two things are not automatic. So as kids are enrolled or added or dropped on the scheduling side of Power School, it's not necessarily happening on the assessment side of Power School. And so David Lewis, our IT coordinator, gets on with Power School. They tell how to run the functions to make sure those syncs are accurate. And once they are accurate, we're able to roll out diagnostics with very little capital after that. Save for students who may enroll after the fact, you add a manual, you keep it efficient, it doesn't hold up the process too much. But that was all handled by the week of the 26th. Diagnostics were all rolled up. We did the same thing with screens. The screens took a little bit longer. Those are for skills, not content. So it's not necessarily, this is what you need to know from our subject as far as facts go or as far as expected performance things are to work. It's more of these are the transferable skills you need to have in order to succeed in our subjects. We have to do those updates manually. There's no sync option between our outside platforms for skills, students for literacy, for math, with our school management platform. So we have to actually, by hand, update those students, give them and then push those out. We are working on a process for those students who have made them up. That's happening as we speak now. And then of course, again, new release, who need to be added, and then of course, go through the same process. So that's what we're doing this week. We did have some vacancies to start the year off, concept level. So we have the Malay vacancy, the social studies vacancy, the science vacancy, and then a vacancy in our study. We did some reshuffling to fill the spare vacancy. So just move some from one person to get that satisfied. And we were able to interview and hire for those core content vacancies. So by the second week of school, all teaching positions have been filled, and we were able to do that. So that was a very, very huge goal in that because we did not want kids to going without somebody in the classroom. And then from there, I think the last big thing, this is sort of on the horizon for next month, but we are starting to get into this month. And that is the finalizing of our Hispanic Churches celebration. The goal is to have that on October 11th. But of course, we've been starting getting the word out there over the last few weeks, and we are going to see if we can address any other needs we may not have seen along the way. And we will be having tomorrow Friday with the role managers, the practice chairperson, and the Spanish teacher who's going to play a big role in finalizing for the specific things. And so those have been I guess the bigger things of the first few weeks of our campus.
From the International Baccalaureate side, start off with the summer. Results weren't great. We did not receive any IB diplomas. Our 4s and above out of those candidates, 2 could have been better. 4s and above is what we consider college readiness and help us for SPS, so we know that we've got to do better on that end and get that in there. We're going to start seeing some of the results of what we've been doing for the past 2 years with building and implementing the middle years program with these next cohorts of students that are taking DP exams for the May 2025 and May 2026 sessions, especially as I've taken a more direct role now in that preparation. But we were at the IB Global Conference in Washington, D.C. in July, 4 of our academic leaders. And as I was meeting, I had 2 days of our state association meetings before. I'm one of our 2 executive members of the Louisiana IB School Association. And talking with those schools that are in our similar circumstances, diplomas are pretty rare for them as well, but their 4s numbers are better. And so we know that that's where we get our SPS points, and we know that it helps our students in the long run in getting that possible college credit and just college readiness. So we've got to work in preparing them for those exams better. But it was good to see some of the strategies from those global conference presenters and how to both best implement the diploma program, but also the middle years program. And ultimately, as we start moving into the CP next year too, we're on track on that. And the reason I bring up the global conference too is next year it's here in New Orleans. And so I really want to encourage our board too over this year to consider sending a couple of folks. There might even be volunteer opportunities just to see the global community that's going to be here in New Orleans in July. We've had folks from the state associations reach out for us to use the building. We're not going to be able to use the building for a 90-person meeting, but we're at least going to be involved in the planning stages for both the state associations and to help out, excuse me, I should have drank some more water, and showcase our students, not just here at IHSNO, but our IB students in the region, because we're also looking at Mississippi, Alabama, to bring those students in and showcase them as well, but especially our IB Panthers here we want to showcase. When it comes, Reimagine is sunsetting this month. We've got 2 weeks left of the Reimagine period and just ESSER 3 funding on that side, not just including Reimagine funds. So we're working on spending that and going through the reimbursement process on supplies and training. Those have to be purchased by the end of this month, but then they've got till December 30th to be used on that end. So in that time, we're going to do all the things that we need for action items for the middle years program to make sure that we apply for authorization on that end. And then after that, from the academic side, I'm not going to go too many details. We made changes in the academic planning side to hit some of the action items that we need to apply for authorization, to streamline what we're doing for our teachers to plan for the program. So I think we're in good shape in the next month and a half to actually make that formal close of consultancy to apply for authorization.
So you said you need to improve on the school, the schools. So I guess my question to you is, what's your plan? And then I'm just curious to what other schools are doing that are not.
So, and especially with those other schools, a lot of them are magnet programs where students are applying and they know the value of the program. We have to sell the value of the program to our students, both from their freshman and sophomore years to get them into the DP in their junior and senior year. So there's a little bit more buy-in on those schools that we're trying to meet that gap. But just in the preparation for our students over those 2 years to make sure that they know what their ultimate assessments are going to be. And that's what we're doing, what I'm doing with juniors, since I see all of our diploma candidates in TOK 1, Theory of Knowledge 1 and 2, we're going over what those assessments are required from day one and continuously checking in with them. And I'm also meeting with teachers to ensure that they are making sure our students are getting the prep that they need to do well on their exams and their assessments throughout. So I'm definitely being targeted in looking at our previous year data, because IB does a good job of basically an exam insight center, so we can see where those students have the deficits when they're sitting for exams. But we have had a good deal of turnover within our DP faculty over these, even just this, looking at May 2025 for that session. So just making sure that those teachers are trained and are able to really get those skills installed in those students so that they can be prepared for the exams. So And I've also been talking with our other our other Louisiana Association schools that are facing similar situations like us. Like Morris Jeff is kind of definitely our comparison when it comes to, they are open enrollment too. They are a continuum school. They have elementary students that are IB students up until, the diploma program, but they still have some selectivity whenever they get into that candidacy, but still seeing what they're doing and ways that we can make sure that we're serving our students as best that we can and preparing them.
Good evening. Current discipline of the state of the school, I believe is in a great state as far as discipline. The students are buying into our code of conduct. Teachers are also buying into the code of conduct as well, but keeping all of the students in line as far as discipline. Teachers are having the students, like Mr. Davis stated earlier, with the CKH program, do social contracts. So that's a big plus for us. Transportation was rocky the first couple of weeks of school regarding the routes and the times for the routes, but after having to sit down, rerouting all of the routes, everything is moving in a great place for that. I'll say about 98% of our students that ride the bus are routed, so we're not having any issues with that. The cell phone policy was pretty rocky at first for a few students. They didn't want to abide by the new rules and the state law. But after having a conversation with them, talking to parents, having sit downs, all of the students are on board with that. So we not having any issues with that. Athletics is underway. Volleyball has started. We have a game this upcoming week, next week. Right now we're 0-2, lost 2 games. But we've been coaching the kids really hard, and they're looking for their first win next week.
Are you guys collecting funds, or have you turned off? I'm just curious.
Okay, so yes, we're collecting the phones. First or fifth period, we're collecting the phones. We're still on the phones. We're giving it back at the end of the day.
So first and fifth, so we get it back at some point.
At the end of the day, so
So why you collect twice?
No,
so
first and fifth meetings are alternating.
Yeah,
Yes.
the first period of the day, like the first block
So
that they have.
8 days, 2 days, first through fourth, fifth period. Yeah. And then their schedule is built in such a way to where we have longer periods in that first spot and that last spot. We're picking them up and then we switch. So during the fourth period class, in the last 5 minutes you switch. Go back to the first period class.
I'd love to throw people in down the coaches again. Everybody wants to purchase those things. Oh, you want that? Thank you.
I got one. Big thing I want to highlight, for, the IT side of academics that we aren't run to one this year. With that being said, that means that we don't allow the kids to take home laptops. We are back with cards, and they are in class for instruction every day. This was a budgetary move to ensure that they aren't breaking, and not paying for them, things of that nature, but it's also to help instruction as far as getting back to writing, getting back to reading, and not just reading on technology 100% of the instruction. Right, and next, as James Davis touched on for diagnostics, we were able to get that done efficiently, even though we had some issues with performance matters. But overall, we were able to get that done, and we are working on literacy screenings this week as well. The next thing I have, okay, you all might be not know, but I do serve in a dual role, so I am teacher for Operation Spark, so I teach the coding class. I did want to report to you all that we had 100% of kids from last year to receive their IBC certification, which is actually real good for ISPS as well as for building that program. And through interest and scheduling, we've actually increased the enrollment for that class this year. even though that may decrease the odds of everyone getting an IBC, I'm just happy that we actually have the interest there and it's growing. All right, and lastly, I did get some, the LGOE sent out some information for us to apply for a computer science grant that is due this week. I am working with our finance manager, Ms. Emily Thomas, to get that completed. And if we are awarded that grant, that could be, it could be up to $40,000 that can go towards, training more computer science teachers, to kind of expand the program. And it also can buy us computers for our program as well. So I think that would be huge if we can score that grant in the next couple of weeks. So I'll keep you all posted on that.
I wanted to also highlight our Dual Career Center partnership. We're partnering again this year for students to participate in various types of programs, from culinary arts to HVAC, nursing, and welding, things like that. And we are happy to say that we have over 20 students that are participating in NLCC this year, which is an increase from last year in 2016. So if, in last year we had 5 of the 6, I think 5 of them received their IEC. So if, we put in strict measures for our students, to make sure that they are going to class, they can't skip, you're not going to stay here, like you have to go to class every day, which would then increase the odds of having more of those students complete and be certificated in one of those courses.
So how does that work with your account?
Yep, they do have to make their NLCC to us, and they need, for the second half to come back and look for their, I also want to highlight, just for, the NIV program, because, we often forget that we have to build our students up to be IB students, so what IB considers IB students. And we believe that all students are IB students once they start as a group. But through our literacy screenings and our math screenings, we know that, like, even today, with some of the results we have from literacy screeners, we have kids that are reading on third grade level. And so if we can take kids that come in that are reading on a third grade level, that are on a second and third grade math literacy level, and we can then get them interested in the IB program to try to do it. They may not get the fours, they may not get the diplomas, but if they're in the program and they're in that classroom with that teacher, learning the way that they're learning, their odds for being successful severely. So I do want to highlight that because, we didn't get a lot of fours, but we are having a lot more students coming in at a much lower readiness level. And we are still able to take those kids at the end of their senior year and get them into the high school diploma. So I do want to highlight the work that's happening in our IB program. We're not Morris Jealous. Morris Jealous has a feeder school that kids come in kindergarten and stay with them. So if their kids are 9, guess what? We say 12, right? But we started at 9th grade. And we started with coming in over. And we're able to build them up to get them to the point of interest. People that are interested in, spirit. We have, how many juniors?
Our juniors are capped, we've capped off the levels at 28 for the juniors, and we've got 15 senior diploma candidates with about 6 course options. So our program's right around 50 that are going to be registered for, 30 that are going to be registered for exams, but then our junior numbers are looking good too to feed up for the year after next.
And so we believe that building the middle years program, and because the middle years program is going to not only help our students, but also it helps our teachers. It gives them a certain structure, a certain way of teaching, certain things that they have to consider when teaching, so that our kids, have that. So all of our kids
We started it last year, but we started it late last year, because we were trying to just get the program in the first place. And we were finally able to get it. And so now that we got it and we've done kind of a dry run last year, you know, how to use it, we know exactly how to roll it out for this year. And so with students taking these things, in the, beginning of the fall semester, and of course, 2 more times by the end of the year, this initial one is going to be used essentially to reschedule, that's kind of a wrong term, reschedule, because the block is already there for the middle of the year, but to resort them so that they are placed in an advisory class that is essentially, hey, this is the level we're on, so this is the progression we're going to those numbers from now, and then the semester. All right, we assess, we sort, roll it back out again for the students.
And
And
this
that
should,
part is,
yeah, so this should help with us, in my opinion, I guess with scoring.
Right.
Because at the end of the day,
There's a literacy proficiency expectation and there's a math proficiency expectation, but the weight has been given to literacy, considering that it is now being embedded in those STEM assessments. So if we can get the literacy piece rolling first, the hope is that everything falls in after that. So it's not as hard for them to get through other types of acquisitions that we need if they've been both been on those reading and writing skills.
well, I'm excited about that. And whoever came up with that program, I applaud you because
Not me, I will not take credit.
because what you're doing is you're meeting these students where they are, and I think that's important because, as you said, they're coming to us reading on a 3rd grade level, and we got to bring them.
and when I said third grade, just, you know,
Any, problems with arguments or things given out so far this year?
of course, attendance is always an issue. It's an issue everywhere. But I think that we're doing a lot better this year with pass rate, the attendance.
enrollment.
Anyone has anything else? Sorry, so for goal one, you want to, for goal number one, we would like to, measure the progress at, the half semester, it'd be a half, right? Because that's what it's called, at the, mid-semester, the progress of the students who, I guess the progress of students in the, prerequisite and the literacy, skills who visit program, not, study with them, to monitor the progress of the students.
Progress.
Literacy assessments.
Monitor and evaluate the progress of students over the 24-25 school year using, literacy screening data.
Yes.
It's 3 times a year that we get
Yes.
it. So it would just be kind of, I'm sure that would come back.
That works. And you can't put a number on it, you can't put a percentage or a piece on it.
You can't put a number on it until you do it.
Right.
Right now, we should have a baseline by the end of this week, but, with that said, we won't be able to answer the date.
November.
So, we can have, the baseline data for you in the meeting. And then in
No, January or March. Do you do second assessment in February?
do the second,
Yeah.
so we'll do the second assessment as a half, and then, give you the results. And the February,
January or March?
sorry.
Yeah, we have February and March.
So in the March. So the goal is actually to increase, literacy skills.
Goal number two is to encourage 100% more participation towards school cultural events defined by financial supports and increase attendance at cultural events for our 23-24 school year. Is there another goal?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Can it just be general events, because we also like to see participation at, things and other things? So can you, have, general participation at school events?
Remove cultural.
Yeah. We have a yes and no. We're still finalizing, some of the athletic events. And I did put in my report, our, standards and so on, should be in the definitions of policy. And my report is called.
Grace, did you just take it upon yourself last year to send out? Did you take it upon yourself last year to send out those event emails?
Looking at the, I think still access to the calendar. I was just working days from there. So you can get an update, volleyball schedule, basketball, any sport, you can send it out, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you did a lot of outside?
Yeah.
Oh, you did really good. You have to see your schedule so you can do the boys and girls basketball.
Don't look the same.
I mean, you pretty.
What time is it, Sam?
It's in the school day, so,
do want to shout out our two students that are kind of spearheading it, Cassidy and Cadence, right? Are going around recruiting folks, and they're really excited about the Hispanic Heritage Celebration. So,
I was just, I literally just, talked to her about that, it's slated for November 15th. It's one of the, that's the, boys and girls basketball team, first play first, and boys and girls after. I believe the 15th is Friday. The idea is to have a game that Friday and the dance that Saturday. Yeah, that would be. That would be. Yeah, we had last year and it completely sold out, like, we did really good.
Okay, and goal number 3 was to review our current strategic plan as it relates to academics, to make recommendations to the strategic plan committee inclusive with our expansion grant goals and overall sustainability. I have a question. So does it fit the final strategic plan?
Determine the next one, as soon as you have it, the next one up, or because it goes to the full plan anyway.
So we will be doing recommendations.
So it doesn't have to be presented, though. It could be
Any of the committees, because each of the committees are involved in the strategic plan, so anybody can recommend it to the full board and the vote on it.
I mean,
I think it should go to conference first, and then they approve it, and it goes to the board for vote.
I guess the reason why I'm saying that is because governance is going to be right after this, and we don't have it.
So the next governance will be till
So it won't
November.
be to another.
The next governance meeting is November 20th.
Right. We do have a finance committee meeting and a facilities committee meeting next week.
And then
We
you're
have
gonna
it
have it.
before next week, we could vote on it.
Your finance and development,
So it gets into the board meeting next month.
I mean, one thought about this is to pull out, once we review it and approve it as a board, is to pull out some things that we want to revisit every meeting. You know, we could actually include it in an agenda item to say, we promised ourselves that we would review. That's one way you kind of keep it front and center. That we can discuss with staff and, you know, amongst ourselves. I mean, that might be something we want to do with all of the committees. Because otherwise, we all know strategic plans. They're great for focusing and getting people and like making commitments and like, this is how we're gonna do it, but it's really fun to follow up.
semantics, but one thing I'd suggest is just to strike or rephrase the expansion grant goals.
Right. That's right.
From that end.
Oh,
And so, I mean, it could be organizational goals, just in general. Since it is ending this month.
so we'll strike those things. So we're keeping the same wording except that organizational goals and then what else? And overall sustainability. had some sentences.
You
did.
The board will receive a strategic plan on the Dublin meeting, in the round meeting, reviewing the strategic plan as it relates to academic, and ensuring that recommendation of strategic plan are being implemented by organizational goals and overall sustainability.
Okay, so goal 3 can be review, strategic plan, goals and objectives for the academic community in every meeting. And I want to say ensure progress, that's bad passive verb there. Yeah, monitor progress related to the goals outlined in the strategic plan. I think we'll go back and figure.
Review strategic plan goals and objectives, and monitor related progress, and monitor progress related to actions. Anything else on that?
Well, there could be, there's got to be some way that we're comparing or measuring or that we're checking in with those goals. Give me a good active verb.
At every academic committee, the board, the committee shall review the current strategic plan goals and objectives, and monitor progress
Towards meetings.
towards the.
Need a computer and things, or edit and computer.
Right there
I'm
with
like
you.
a lazy speaker now, because I'm so used to editing
Yeah, me too.
the written word.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have, this is what you're voting on. I have, to monitor and evaluate the progress of students over the 24-25 school year, utilizing results from the latest experience.
And that, we're gonna,
Literacy and.
we're focusing
Well,
on,
yeah, we're focusing on
okay,
literacy.
I think that's fair, I understand why. You get a good point about that.
Go to 100% more participation in school events, give financial support or attendance. And then go to 3 at each committee, at each academic committee, meeting that they shall review the current strategic plan goals and objectives and monitor progress towards the. Go.
Some of those I have.
Now you can vote.
Let's say a motion to accept the goals for the 24-25 school year. Renee's. I'm sorry, as far as Charlie's first, all the first, yeah, on the
Parents.
And it has been voted to accept the goals for the 24-25 school year. Next, I'm going to confirm the dates for our upcoming meetings for the academic school year 24-25. Today's meeting is September 18th. The next meeting will be held on November 20th, 2024. January 15th, 2025.